So, ladies and gentlemen, let me go into this little excerpt since I'm thinking about stuff about what it takes to build a man. Because I have heard, I've heard people say, and I've read articles about what they think, builds a man. Definitely in terms of today's day and age when it comes to, whether this last decade, according to the stats and statistics, or even over the last 2 to 3 decades. One of my biggest opinions about, and this hopefully shouldn't be a long video, I don't think it takes another man to build a man, and or takes a man to raise another man, or whatever you were to call it. I do not think that it does. Now, that's just personally my opinion. You can call me loony, crazy, or whatever else word you want to for saying that. But I promise you, over the last 5 years of my life, I believe I'm living proof and example. Now, this is just towards my standards and my morals and my character and more, and my belief in God and my faith. So nobody has to agree with anything I'm about to say. But I don't think it takes another man to build another man. I think what it takes is somebody that's rational thinking, someone that knows how to talk to you and win your trust in order to build a man. Because I do believe it definitely has a lot to do with relatability, and trust goes into discipline. If that young boy can trust you, that means he will, by definition, I would say he will fall in line with the majority, if not everything you say about what it takes to, build a man, and so on and so on. And then when it comes to the rational thinking, that means knowing how far to go when it comes to building a man. Knowing how far to go with what you say and how you construct what you are doing. A lot of people have no clue how far to go with what they're doing and what they're saying. I feel like I'm living proof to that a lot of people have not known how far to go with talking to me, or even what to do to try to prove what they wanted to prove to me. They did not know they did not know how far to go, so therefore they just always did whatever they wanted to do and pretend it was right. I'm gonna tell you that this is just my best opinion, and nobody has to agree with me. But I promise you, it does not take another man to build up another man. But that's just my opinion, and I'm not trying to say that to say, oh, we don't need, a male in the house to raise a family. Trust me, you do, if you were to ask me. Or at least depending on the type of family you're trying to raise. And by the way, that might sound so progressive, but again, hear me out, because even that sentence I might not know what in God's name I was trying to say. So I mean, in terms of, if you're trying to build a traditional family, then yes, you need a man in the house. You're trying to build a traditional family with traditional morals, ground roots, etc., etc. You need a man in the house. But you need the right type of man. You need a strong man, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Because just because you have a pair, and because you are, I guess, over 6 feet tall or whatever the case is, don't make you a man. It don't make you a man. It don't make you a man. Did I say it makes you a boy, but it don't make you a man, if you were to personally ask me. In terms of, once again, dare I say, in terms of survival and instincts, grit and grind, structure, you get the point. I'm going to say this for me and my best opinions when it comes to growing and raising, building up families and communities. It does not take, I personally don't believe it takes another man to build up another man. What it takes is someone that is loving, trusting, caring, compassionate, and understanding. Now, that does not mean take all that for weakness and just say you're raising up a bunch of simps. That's not what you're doing whatsoever. You are raising up people who know how to raise other people in God's way. And what that means is, for every nice, clean word I used, use another word, or pair it with another word that means masculine, that means character, that means responsibility, that means integrity. Pair every word I just used with another word that means, or that well yeah, that means everything else I just said. Pair those words up. Pair masculinity with some type of upper body strength, or you know what, I probably don't even know how else to explain it other than just pair words together, and you hopefully might understand what I'm saying there. But I promise you, it does not take a man to raise up another man. I feel personally, my opinion, it does not take another man to raise up. Because I promise you, over the last 5 years, what has built me into the man I believe that I am is my faith. That's what's built me into who I am. It's my faith. My faith alone has built me into who I am today. That's what's built. That's solely what's built me into who I am. So all glory be to God. One was unashamed. God first got of everything. But I'm telling you, it depends on all. Also, what type of man do you want to be? It depends on, how do you want to go about your traditional gender roles. It depends what type of family you're trying to build in terms of the social structure. Okay, who's going to be the main breadwinner? How much money do you need to bring in? How much money do you want to bring in for a few extra things here on the side? Where do you want to live? And so much more. But I also believe the church plays a huge role in building not only dare I even say a man, but raising up communities, raising up families. The church plays a vital role. And that's one of the top problems that's wrong with our society today. Because that we have as much violence and overdoses and et cetera, the way we have. The church, today's church is, a lot of churches today are as spineless as can be. I'm not even joking. They are as spineless as can be. That's another reason why a lot of our communities struggle with poverty, drugs, and et cetera, the way that it does. Because our churches are spineless. They're doing nothing more than asking for you to tithe. Nothing more. They're not going inside, dare I say, they're not going inside your house and trying to get focally involved in your life whatsoever. I promise you, the body of the church, if not the physical building of a church, or no, one of those two words is more than just sermons. It's practicing what you preach. It's more than just tithing. It's tithing with good faith. It's investing in your future, and more so. And those are things, properties that a lot of churches need to understand. That's why your community is failing. That's why your congregation doesn't trust you. If not, that's why they're not even in church at all on Sundays. You name the variations that I can go off on there, and so on. But I promise you, depends what type of man you want to build. If you were to personally ask me, um, um, godly, biblically, to add on to that, because I know there's a lot of people out there who will take what I just said and they'll stretch it out into so many variations that I never intended it to be stretched out into whatsoever. But I'm telling you, it more so depends on your faith. It more so depends on your character, your compassion, your morals, your dignity. It depends on a lot of those things. And at least if you were to also ask me, I'm telling you, what it takes to build a man is, you have to be willing to know how to talk. You have to be willing to win that young boy's trust, and then you have to be willing to be a rational thinker with the obstacles that you're gonna put in their place, let alone the tools you're gonna give them to walk them through those obstacles and to mentor them through those obstacles, to build their character, build their trust, build their discipline, build their awareness, and much more. So I hope everybody understands the majority of what I'm trying to say, rather than just letting everything go over your head. Because I'm just definitely saying, if you look at today's society, just because you're 6 feet tall, you're big, and you got a pair, don't mean you're a man. You got so many, again. Look at today's society today with the news, and you tell me. Or if not, just answer the question for yourself. So God bless you, boy, man. NJ2TheCity. I just had to get some of that off my chest. I might film another video about it. If not, just delete this and film another one, or I'll post this one and film a part two and maybe go deeper into it. But I promise you, I'm a living example that it don't take another man to build another man. Even though I did grow up with a dad, it takes, really, at least for me, it took really good faith. It really took really good faith and really good discernment to build me the way I am today. That's what it took. And that's why I say it really depends on variations. It depends on character. It depends on discernment. Jesus, God, church, Bible. I promise you, the church, they owe a lot of communities a lot of apologies. Because I promise you, the church is definitely a vital role of it when it comes to building character, when it comes to building trust, morality. The church is a vital place when it comes to building communities, culture, influence, you name it, let alone building a man and building a woman. Church plays a vital part in it. And a lot of churches have failed their communities. That's why a lot of their communities are dealing with the drugs, the poverty, the violence, and more. Because a lot of churches, I believe so. Just my opinion, you don't have to agree with it. A lot of churches, they failed their communities. And by God's grace, they have used this epidemic to wake themselves up. So hopefully in the future, you know, you know, all that gets fixed. So your boy been injured to the city out. More coming soon. Peace.